On Friday, January 12th, 2004, came the amalgamation, which was between Cookereet St. James Credit Union and Southeast Port of Spain Credit Union.
The credit union was small, but there was, even at that time, a sense that it could be more than it was. The earliest members of this credit union were people drawn from the port. They were port workers and workers from canning.
Western United was able to get more and more members.
And we built from there. What we found at that time was that many of the workers had financial situations which, if they went to the bank, would lead to a lot of difficulty for them. Many of them didn't have the resources to get the kinds of loans that they needed for very important project, very urgent project in their work and life.
Well, I've been a member of Western United Credit Union many years. I had the opportunity to purchase an SUV, a Mitsubishi Outlander. It was a good buy in a matter of 2 days, no lie. My check was ready, so I really, really appreciate that. And through that, I was able to organize my car. And then the other thing, December 11, 2016, my father passed away on a Sunday morning. So, did all the whatever run around you could do, but I can't begin to tell you the ease of my mind that I was able to go to the funeral that same Sunday and, make the arrangements, get your idea of your costings or whatever, because I did not have to worry about how am I getting money to pay for this. So I called the Monday and let the credit union know what had happened. I came in to bring in the documents that they needed for me to sign up so that they can forward their claim. And in 48 hours, I got my credit union did not let me down. They delivered as promised.
A friend introduced me to the credit union, and I went in and I joined. Well, one day I went to work and they said I had a gas pain and I ended up in the hospital. While I was in the hospital, they tell me I need to do an angiogram. 14,000 something to do the angiogram. Then they said I have to do a open heart surgery at $175,000. With my investment and the money I had with them, I was able to get help out to get the loan to see about my operation. While I was doing that, I ended up in a coma for 10 days, which went over the amount of $175,000. And they stand up with me and paid all my bills. And I'm living testimony to say that I was sitting down here talking today. Thank God to the credit union, Western Credit Union. And from there on, I never left there, and they helped me a great deal in life. To bring up my children, send them to school, buy new vehicle, pay for vehicle, insurance, everything. I never had a regret. Never up to this day.
My name is Barry Pierre. I was born in Belmont. I lived in Belmont for almost 35 years. I now live in Diego Martin. I was a member of the Defense Force for almost 30 years, but I'm now involved in the Civilian Conservation Corps, where we deal with our marginalized youth between the age of 16 and 25. And my elder brother introduced me to the credit union. I was a young soldier then. My wife now, we weren't married yet, but we were living together. Things were a little tough and we needed an institution that could assist us to move forward in life. The banks wasn't doing it because of the criteria to get loans or to get money borrowed. Most of the things that my wife and I have and have accomplished was through the credit union, from building our first home in Belmont to educating our children, purchasing my first car, all came from the credit union. We started off life with a little rush. I got my wife pregnant at the age of 16. She was unable to finish school. As a result, as soon as my children became old enough to go to school, I sent my wife to school, and basically the credit union financed the education of my wife. She's now an accountant. It took some years, but the credit union stuck with me throughout. Besides school books for my wife and children, they were the Christmas shopping and anything that came along where you needed a lump sum of cash. The credit union was my go-to place. They have introduced two new features that I think suits its customers nice. That is the deposit account. When I just joined, they didn't have a deposit account, and they now have an indemnity plan for your family. And as soon as it was introduced, I joined, and that plan helped me to bury my mother-in-law very comfortable. The service at the credit union, the credit union seemed to do an extremely good job with recruiting people. They have always had a staff that was always friendly and understanding, giving advice. The staff of the credit union have always been for its clients, its customers.
I had some parents that were very big on saving your money, right? I have a father who is very ticklish about finances. He don't like to spend a cent unnecessarily. And I have a mom who is very, very, organized in terms of spending, right? She was the one that introduced me to the credit union, or the whole idea of the credit union, actually. When I left school in 1991, the first thing she said when I started to work as a clerk one in Service Commissions Department, she said, "Ma'am, we have a little date," right? And we have to go to the credit union. So I asked her, "Well, what the heck is the credit union?" Well, she said, "For poor people like me and you and the family, it's a way of saving your money beside the bank, right? And remember, you just come out of school, you have to get your first degree and your master's and as far as it could go, and this is the place to do it. When you want to build your house, when you want to buy a car, this is the place to come and save your money." There were some opportunities, that came my way that if it wasn't for the credit union, it would not have happened, right? One of them was my education. I went to St. Joseph's Convent in Port of Spain. When I left school, I wanted to further myself. I decided to do the associate's degree in computer science, right, in the Hearst. And of course, the credit union was right there. In fact, that was the first time that I was able to get a loan, right? I remember the first time I didn't know what to do. And of course, with the guidance of the loans officers at the time, they were very, very kind and very, very accommodating, right? Because of the credit union, I got my first little loan, got my degree, my associate's degree initially in computer science. But I moved on from there. I had a hunger for IT and so on. So I decided to do the Bachelor of Science degree. So again, where did I go? To the credit union. And of course, they were very, very accommodating again. So I went on to UE and I got my BSc in computer science again because of the credit union, and they were very, very accommodating. Apart from my education, there were times in my life that the credit union was there for me. When I got sick and I had cancer in the womb, right, I had to do an operation. In fact, it was a bit of an emergency to do this operation because I had developed this cancer, and the cancer was in the form of a polyp, and it had to be removed. And thankfully, the credit union again, I was able to get a loan, and not just a loan, but an urgent loan. Even though I had loans before, they accommodated me, and I was able to remove this polyp, get tested, and do what other medical operations or activities I had to remove this particular cancer. So it's not just education, but of course for medical purposes. The credit union has been there right through, and I just want to also mention the staff. The staff, oh my God, they were just so understanding at the time. And I mean, sometimes, because of my work schedule, I was not able to come into the credit union to complete all the forms. So some of the things that they would do for me is complete all the forms before So I would just have to come in, sign, collect check, and go. So even the service was top of the line for me.
I'm Kester Fraser from Roxborough, Tobago. I had a good friend. He introduced me to the credit union. From there was up the road for me, like refurbishing my house and thing. It was no problem. The staff was so nice to me. So every time I go to them for a loan, I believe it was just so easy. My first car from the credit union, same easy process again. My second vehicle from the credit union, and then down the road where my mother just come and pass away, they did a loan for me to bury my mother without coming down to Trinidad to organize. I just had to come and collect the money. At that time, when Hurricane Ivan did pass, I had a small damage on my house, a small damage by the flood, and they called me and asked me what happened, and they actually gave me a disaster loan. The service that I got from the credit union, people was amazed. Yeah, some credit union you may not get that service. I'm still looking forward for a branch at the Western United Credit Union to come to Tobago.
So my advice to anybody, start with what you can afford, put it towards something that would help.